This is my video upload for extra credit for early childhood education, class 314 with Professor Teresa Campbell. I am supposed to upload a video regarding an incident that I was involved in and its outcome regarding health. So, on a Friday, no particular Friday, I keep a set of siblings. The younger sibling wasn't sick, but the older sibling had an interesting cough. Maybe I didn't really notice it the day before, but that Friday I took on the same cough, and I immediately let the parents know after pickup, that I felt sick now. And they were the only ones in care that day, so I knew where I got it from. I could pinpoint it. I was subsequently sick, extremely sick the day before, and for days on, they kept their child home on their own reconnaissance for about a week, a little over a week. They returned their children back to care, and in the elevator, mom goes, "Oh, little Billy he's got a diaper rash." I said, "Oh, okay. You all have signed the form, so permit me to put on diaper rash cream." So I figured I'd just apply cream. I have gloves. I'll cream him. These siblings said the sibling said has had a diaper rash before. Pardon me. I've seen it clear up in the past, and I've dealt with diaper rashes before. So they come upstairs. I'm, otherwise doing my health assessments at drop off. I don't see any runny noses, no new bumps on the hands or things of that nature. I go to change the little one's diaper. No rash. Okay. It was little Joseph's diaper, not little Billy, that I had assumed had the diaper rash. The 2-year-old brother, and he's pretty much nonverbal for the most part. I don't get a lot of speech out of him at all. He'll just smile, very rarely cries, but very happy nonetheless, like a happy child. Gets into things if he can, but if I'm like, "Hey, get down," or "No, don't try to open that," he will not. He'll, stop whatever behavior. Pretty agreeable. So I go to change his diaper, and it's like a full-blown, it doesn't look rashy. It's not a rash to me. It looks like something else. And I changed his diaper. I didn't even feel comfortable putting cream on it, but I did see like it had some powder on it. I changed the diaper. I throw it away. I just put a dry diaper on him. And I immediately text the father as to provide a paper trail of my suggestion. And I did it immediately. They must have got dropped off around 10:30. I texted them at 11 to show, okay, this is probably one of the first changes, and I think this is urgent. I'm going to text you. I'm not going to call you because there's no paper trail of that. I recall that, yeah, little Joseph had a rash because I put it in the app that I applied cream to him when I saw him last on Friday. And I thought it looked unique then, but it was only one part of him. It was not as large. It wasn't bleeding. It wasn't flaky. This rash was bleeding. The current one that I was seeing, 7-8 days later, was flaky, bleeding, patchy. It looked terrible. It looked highly inflamed. It looked painful. It looked sad. And my initial thought was calling CPS. Like, I'm going to at least just call a hotline, see if this is reportable. So I text the father and said, hey, little Joseph here, he's got a rash. You've got to get him to urgent care. I think I noted that he had a rash. It looks like it's gotten worse. He needs additional treatment. I don't feel comfortable putting diaper rash cream on him. The father doesn't call or text me back. A couple hours later, he calls me. Hey, yeah, I thought it was getting better. He needs to start potty training. That's neither here nor there. He needs medical treatment. He needs to be seen by a doctor. This is not what I feel comfortable even putting any cream on. So, like, do I need to pick him up? I was like, no, he's been out of care already, but definitely take him to the doctor. As the day goes on, I'm observing little Joseph. He's pulling the shirt up a lot, trying to scratch the area through the diaper. And I get sad. Then he goes poo, have to change him. And he's just showing so much discomfort. The change, he's bleeding. Oh my gosh. I'm so displeased, and I begin to become sad and frustrated with the parents because I know that we knew that we had this rash about a week and a half ago. And it bothered me that it didn't seem like we were seeing the same thing, but I told myself, when whoever does pick up, I'm going to really not come down on the parent, but I'm going to be very vocal about this child needing to go to the doctor, like it kind of not being something that they can not do. So I think I text both mom and dad at the same time, and mom says, are we going to need to take him to the doctor before we bring him back? I said, yes, absolutely. I text her back, absolutely. Yes, I think I put a exclamation mark in there because as I was thinking, I was reflecting, like, if any of us as adults had a rash like that in our diaper area, we would run to the doctor. We wouldn't hesitate if we had a rash like that for longer than 2-3 days. So how is this being able to persist for longer? And I feel like I was becoming a part of their negligence. And I said, I will not. And then, I'm recalling my interactions with this child and it just being mostly non-problematic, and he doesn't speak. I said, I have to advocate for this child. I said, this is my time to advocate. I have to give this voiceless child a voice. So I pick up, I said, hey, if you need me to watch the little one while you take him to the doctor, I'll watch him. Do you need a ride to the doctor? Oh, they close at 3. The next one's open till 6. I gotta go pick up the other one. I said, yeah, but if you had a rash like this, wouldn't you have been there maybe 2, 3, 4 days in? I said, I put a note in the app before you all took off for his cough that I applied cream, and it has grown in surface area. It's patchy. He's bleeding. He tries to say something about the other child's development, but I wasn't concerned. My only concern was that this child got medical treatment, got a little bit loud, and I was more or less offering support because I knew if they try to keep little Billy or Timmy, Joseph, for another day out of care, or if they brought him back the next day without having medical treatment, I knew that I was gonna have to take an additional step. It was just really frustrating for me. I said, if you need a ride there or a ride back, I'll get you a taxi, an Uber, Lyft. Take him. I must have said it about 2 times. You have to take him to the doctor. As I'm speaking with the father, I'm feeling a little disgusted at the hearing, at the excuses I'm potentially seeing that this father's gonna make. And I said, you have to take him. I pack a snack bag. I pack 2 snack bags. I say, here you go, just in case you end up at the doctor right now. You have some snacks. That's a little encouragement. So the father walks off, and I didn't care how he felt. I didn't care how he felt because I see how the child felt, and that's what I wanted. I didn't care about how the parents felt about me suggesting this. So about an hour later, the father sends me a video of the baby at the doctor. When the child left, though, I'll be honest, I wept just a little bit because I'm like, wow, this little kid, he doesn't give me any trouble. And I told that to the parent, like, he doesn't give me any trouble. Take him to the doctor. I don't want to see him like this. Not that, my problematic clients, I feel like did deserve it, but I just didn't feel like he deserved to have this rash, this prolonged rash. So they're there at the doctor, and come to find out they do. They offer a steroid. They say it's some sort of infection, X, Y, and Z. Both the mom and the dad confirmed via text message. Excuse me. I was glad they took him. I was glad they got a prescription. I was glad they waited and got the prescription. But then, a part of me felt like, well, why did it take me to say something? But then at the same time, I was proud that I did advocate for this child immediately. And I pressed the issue to both parents that, hey, I see this and we have to fix it. And I ensure health and safety. The child came back and the next day, and it had already started to look a little bit better. And then the next day, it started to look a little bit better. And, the parents were appreciative that I said something. And my concern was that they were going to be offended that I said something. But I didn't care, but that was a concern of mine. So, I also recently signed up with the Department of Health, and I let them know, like, hey, DPH is going to start coming to my program doing screenings. And they're going to be doing visual, audio, and dental screenings. And I need you all to sign this form saying that it's okay. Give me your consent to allow me to have a second pair of professional eyes. And I was nervous about introducing that form to all of my clients. But I'm realizing, like, I don't really have a choice about. I do have a choice about the level of care, but I'm going all the way in with the type of care that I'm offering my clients. I've been doing this for a while, and sometimes when I have concerns, clients I feel like blow me off. But I've been doing it for long enough to say, no, I'm a professional. I know I might look a little bit young, but I know what I'm talking about. So, I look forward to seeing this child again next week. Sadly, this was recently. But the outcome was an immediate doctor's visit, a doctor's note.